fourth graders. Today we're going to talk about properties of minerals. Yesterday we did the vocabulary in our new earth science, which is all about rocks and minerals. We're going to talk about minerals first, and I'd like you to copy the properties of these minerals. And we know properties are how you observe with your senses about how you describe characteristics. Remember all those traits, attributes. I've actually done this video now twice because when I first did it, I think it was upside down. So hopefully this works for you. Properties of rocks come from minerals that make them up. Copper, quartz, and lead are just a few of the nearly 4,000 known minerals. How do scientists tell them apart? They observe their different properties. We're very familiar with that word. Here's your first property of minerals that you're going to copy down in your science notebook: color. The first property you might notice about a mineral is its color. However, some minerals come in many different colors. Also, many different minerals have the same color. So color alone cannot be used to identify most minerals. Here's a picture. This mineral quartz comes in several different colors. So look at all that. We really couldn't tell just by the color that that's quartz. So here's another property. This one is called streak. Streak is better than color for telling minerals apart. Streak is the color of powder that the mineral leaves when rubbed on a rough tile. A mineral may come in many colors, but the color of its streak is always the same. Some minerals do not leave any streak because they are harder than the tile. So here's really cool. Pyrite can look so much like gold that it is called fool's gold. It cannot fool anyone who looks at its streak. Gold has a gold streak and pyrite has a black streak. So if you look at them, they both look very similar. But when you rub it on a tile, a light colored tile, that's a gold streak. But look, pyrite always will leave a black streak. So that way no one can fool you. Another property that I want you to copy down is called hardness. Scientists measure hardness by how easily the mineral can be scratched. You may think all minerals are hard, but you can scratch some with your fingernail. Scientists use the Mohs scale to test and measure hardness. Look at the minerals below in the chart. Talc is the softest mineral. It can be scratched by all other minerals on the chart. At the other end of the scale is diamond. It is the hardest mineral. It can scratch all the other minerals on the chart. So if you look at this, this is a Mohs scale. One is it's so easily scratched even by your fingernail, and that's talc. If you've ever heard of talcum powder, that's what they use. Then you go a little bit further. This is gypsum. It can be scratched by a fingernail. A lot of drywall is made out of this. Scratched by a penny, calcite. Scratched by an iron nail, fluorite. Scratched by glass, apatite. Scratched by steel file, orthoclase. Scratched steel and glass, quartz. Quartz is very, very hard. That's a Mohs scale of 7. Topaz can scratch quartz. That's a Mohs number of 8. Corundum can scratch topaz. And then the hardest one of all is a 10, and that is the diamond. You don't need a set of 10 minerals in the Mohs scale to test for hardness. You just look at the chart again, and you'll find a list of objects you can use to test for hardness. For example, a mineral can be scratched by a piece of glass, but not by an iron nail. The mineral's hardness is between 4 and 5. If you scratch the mineral with your fingernail, the mineral has a hardness between 1 and 2. So if it can be scratched by glass, but not by the nail, then you know it's in between here. If it's easily scratched, you know it's a 1 or a 2. The next property I want to talk about is some other ones. Minerals can have other properties too. They include cleavage, magnetism, luster, and reacting with acid. Cleavage. Some minerals break or cleave along smooth, flat surfaces. This property is called cleavage. Pyrite, for example, has cleavage because it can break into cubes. Mica has cleavage because it breaks into smooth, flat sheets. Another mineral that you have at your house is salt, NaCl, and that will always break into cubes. So if you have a magnifying glass or a hand lens, take a look at salt. It's always in little cubes. Magnetism. Some minerals act like magnets. They attract objects that contain iron. One of the most magnetic materials is magnetite. An old story tells how a shepherd in the area of Greece called Magnesia discovered magnetite. The nails in his sandals stuck to the rock beneath his feet. So that would be cool to find some of that. I've never come across magnetite. That would be awesome. Another property is luster. Luster is how a mineral's surface reflects light. Luster can be metallic or non-metallic. A mineral with a metallic luster reflects light like a shiny piece of metal. Hematite has a metallic luster because it contains metals. Minerals with a non-metallic luster may look glassy, pearly, greasy, or dull. Compare the lusters of the minerals shown here. So there is hematite. Look how shiny it is. So it has a metallic luster. This beryl has a glassy luster, and this talc luster is greasy or oily. The last one I want you to write down is reacts with acid. Some minerals bubble or fizz when they come into contact with a weak acid such as vinegar. Calcite has this property. So calcite is like limestone, and vinegar was placed on this rock that did contain some calcite, and the calcite fizzes as it releases glass bubbles. So if you found a rock and you put a little vinegar on it and it released gas bubbles, you know you have some calcite there. All right, boys and girls, make sure you write these in your science notebook, and I'll talk to you soon.